Families, they often believe that recruiting decisions begin when a coach replies. But the reality is that coaches start evaluating long before they ever respond to one of your emails. So this is an important shift for parents to understand, because silence doesn't mean nothing is happening. What it really means is that, and most of the times, is that something already has begun. So you see, coaches, they're constantly evaluating, not just the talent, but what I call signals. Signals about readiness, signals about understanding, signals about fit. And many of those signals appear before a single conversation ever takes place. So coaches notice how families communicate. They notice whether outreach feels rushed or thoughtful. They notice whether messages feel informed or generic. They notice whether expectations feel realistic or disconnected from the level that they're actually recruiting. So they notice these things pretty much quickly. They also notice timing. Reaching out too early can signal misunderstanding, but reaching out too late can signal missed opportunities. And neither of those has anything to do with how talented your athlete is. Another thing that coaches will notice pretty much early is what I like to call alignment. Does the athlete make sense for that program? Academically, athletically, culturally. When alignment isn't clear, coaches don't always explain why. They simply move on. This is where families get really confused. They assume silence means lack of interest, or worse, they assume something is wrong with the athlete. In most cases, the issue isn't talent, it's clarity. Coaches, they operate inside a very real constraint. Roster spots, roster sizes, recruiting windows, admission priorities, budget realities. So when families, they communicate without understanding those constraints, coaches notice, even if they don't respond. So those families who navigate recruiting best understand this pretty much early. They don't take silence personally. They don't chase responses. They focus on alignment before outreach. They understand that recruiting is not about forcing attention. It's about making sense to the right program at the right time. So this channel, it exists to help families see recruiting through the coach's lens. Not to guess, not to overact, but to understand that actually what matters, even before decisions are made. So if you ever wonder why a coach did not respond, it may not be because they weren't paying attention. It may be because they already noticed what most families don't realize is being evaluated. So in recruiting, what's noticed early often matters most. And clarity changes everything. You don't need to impress more. You need clarity and alignment.